She'll mess around. She'll mess around, she told me.
I would
She's
like
on
to
it.
call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Eastview Board of Education to order. It is 6:02 on October 19th. Roll call, please.
Waffleholz.
Here.
Dahlberg.
Here.
Foote.
Here.
Quinn. Here. Sent. Winders.
Here.
Christmas.
Here.
And please rise for the pledge of the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to consent agenda. Any discussion on the consent agenda? If not, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Been moved by Dan,
Second.
seconded by Don to approve the consent agenda as stated on the agenda. Roll call, please.
Quinn. Aye. Foote.
Aye.
Christmas.
Aye.
Winders.
Aye.
Waffleholz.
Aye.
Dahlberg.
Aye.
And moving on to recognition of visitors and correspondence, I see we have some student council representatives here, so welcome.
Okay, first of all, if you don't know me, I'm Liam, and
Hi, John.
so we're this year's student council president and vice president. You know, we've been doing a lot different things this year, and this was one of them. You know, kind of just wanted to make sure that you guys were in the know of every single thing that we're doing. So I kind of just wanted to talk about just a few things that we're doing different this year, just so you know you guys are in the know. We kind of started like an election system, so you will see that we have a couple people that are voted in, and then you have some people that are not voted in. So we have an executive council. So the executive council will be kind of like our president, vice president. We have 2 communications, and we have a treasury and a secretary, you know, all people like that. And those people would be kind of like they apply for the position, and Ms. Renison, who is our new supervisor, and Ms. Sirianni would be looking at those applications and letting them in. And then we're allowing 2 people from each grade. It's a little bit different this year, but those people will be voted in by their classes. So you know, we get a little bit of representation, and we get a couple people that are, you know, good in a leadership position. So I'm president, she's vice president. We have Lucy Robinson and Emma Pettigrew as our communications. Maddie Heitkamp is our secretary, and Joey Delaney is our treasury, and I think that everyone is pretty good in their positions right now. But for now, I think that seems like a good system that, you know, we've been working on for the last year, and this was our first year to implement it, and it's kind of working. So we have executive council and representative council. The goal for that was to be, you know, be more of a respectable organization. We wanted people teachers, you know, to know that we're doing something good whenever we ask them to do anything for us. But for like homecoming, for example, was a big change this year. It went amazing. I know you guys blew it out of the park in the parade. One thing with the parade is we actually started doing a lot more committees this year. Neither of us had anything to do with the parade, and it went perfect. We put Erica Dolan and Miss Sirianni was on that, and then they would get people, and it was very, very good. They did amazing, and it was kind of nice because we didn't have to take charge on any of that, and you know, and we were starting to get that out of city council and that leadership skills as, you know, they grow. So big thank you to Miss Sirianni, because she knows what she's doing, and she's been doing it for a very, very long time. You know, that was like the vision for student council, and our first thing, homecoming, seemed to go pretty well, so we're kind of doing good. The dance went really, really well. We could not find a DJ for the life of us, but we ended up working it out in here. It was really, really well decorated, and you know, we had fun. Seniors won homecoming, of course, because you know, that's just how it works.
A little biased.
Yeah,
A little biased.
we're a little biased, but you know, that's just how it works every single year. Some other things with student council, we're doing a lot more fundraising. I know we did it a lot in the past, but you know, we want a strict thing. Like whenever we, you know, go to Mr. Sirianni and ask him for something, we want to have a basis of what we're doing. So if we ask him, we have all the details and it's not up in the air and what you're doing. I know we have a couple fundraisers that are coming up here soon, so you know, we would have our communications person either talk to Mr. Sirianni or get someone to, and that's working out really, really well. I know we had a Culver's fundraiser. Mr. Emerson was talking about that last time, and it went really, really well. We raised a lot of money with that. Every single month, we kind of have a vision for what we want to do. For Veterans Day, we have a plan, not set in stone. I'll talk to you about that one soon, but something for the veterans, and you know, as Leo Club does their assembly thing, we have a couple things that we would also like to help out with, you know, veterans in need and stuff like that. So that's an idea of like our fundraising bit. But you know, just to like close it up, because I don't want to take all your time. For the future of this, the idea of it was that we kind of just wanted to work with you guys. And I know a lot of people don't even know like what the board is or what they do, or you know, even who's on it, and it's not anyone's fault for that. But I think it's important that everyone knows what's going on with the board. And I think the board, you know, should know what's going on with the school and everything. So in the future, we would love for you guys to ask questions to us. You know, we can relay messages to the student body, and if you ever think you want a survey on what the students are thinking about something, or you want to just know what the general consensus is, if you have a debatable topic that you know you think the students have an idea for, we would love for you to reach out to us. You can always reach out to us at our emails, but you know, we're here every single day. So, and you know, you got the 19th hole too, so you can always drop off a message or something like that. You know, get a burger or something. You know, so.
That was good.
You know, I had to slide that in there. You know, a little bit of advertising there. I don't know if that. So yeah, but basically, for the future of these meetings, we plan on being here every single month, and for the future, we plan to make, you know, a structure for future years, and so you guys know what's going on and you know what's going on with you. But you know, let us know. We want questions. We want everyone to be able. I want this to be a discussion. So in the future, just let us know.
I think when we first started this, one of the things that the kids brought to our attention or asked about was just graduation, not having to do finals, right? Didn't Sam like right now?
Well, when we started student ambassadors
Yeah.
back in the day.
So it was kind of a, come and let us know what's going on, and I mean, some concerns too, but obviously, I'm sure don't surprise Darren or anybody what the concern is.
Yeah. Well, we want to talk about what's good too.
Yeah, well, definitely, yeah, and that's what we want to hear is what's going on with you guys, so.
Question.
Yeah.
Now that I know your first name, what is your last name?
I'm Liam Thumser.
Okay. Okay.
PR Munson.
Yep. Okay. Good. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, I guess I could have said that.
Yeah, I get it.
But anyone else?
No, I just want to say thanks for letting us participate in the parade. It was very cool. Liam came up and introduced himself as a student council ambassador, and thank you for being there. I thought that was very, very professional and very well thought out.
Politician.
Yeah, well, if there was a first place prize, I think you guys would have gotten it. They're the mystery machine, you know.
We had our 1988 Winnebago van.
Oh,
Winnebago,
geez.
yeah, we had that. And we was sitting for about a half hour, like idling. I thought it was on. It was off. Crank, and then she just did like, this thing's gonna die. I'm like, one foot's on the gas, one foot's on the brakes to keep it going on the road. So.
It was funny there.
I wasn't worried because we had the football team on a float. They
Yeah.
could have pushed it out of there.
I thought we were needed.
But that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I just want to say thank you. I like the structure that you're creating within it. That sounds like it could be very beneficial, not only now, but in the future for upcoming people that want to get involved. So thank you.
Yeah, and the whole idea was that, you know, 4 years down the road, you know, we're building up that leadership. I know, like, this year, some people are going in it with no idea, they're like a junior. But, you know, in the future,
committee meetings and stuff like that, I mean, I'm sure that you're always welcome to come out to another time, but that's like where we really get into that conversation, it's like, what's this building gonna look like, how's, you know, next couple of years look like, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's more of a nuts and bolts. This is more of like, hey, we've already talked about it, and we approve it, those are the places where we actually figure stuff out, so.
That would be interesting.
I mean, so we can start, you know, letting you know
Yeah,
that we're having one of those meetings or something.
I would like, be a part of that, and I know, one last thing, like, we have a city council Instagram page now that Emma Pettigrew is running very, very well, and we have been relaying a lot to the student body, and this is one thing that I think that Emma would be a good job at, giving the most synopsis kind of view on what's going on in the board meeting. So we're not boring them, but, it looks pretty and it has a couple sparkles on it, and maybe people will look at it then, but thank you.
So I just have to say, so it's probably been over a year and a half or so, but I was walking out one time, and this was, I saw Liam at a couple meetings or whatever, and he wasn't at one of the meetings, and I said, oh, yeah, you missed the meeting tonight. He said, oh, yeah, that's tonight. I gotta go home and watch that on Facebook.
So I have been a big supporter for the last couple of years on Facebook, whether you know that one or not, but and Mr. Hire on his great recording skills. Yeah, that was a fun time.
Top of the line.
I was pretty excited. I was like, all right, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
So, thank you for your involvement.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you.
Stay around for a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, was there anybody else that wanted to address the board? All right, so moving on to staff reports. Mr. Hire.
So, I'm gonna sidebar a second. I just wanna say, because you poked fun of me, I'm just gonna poke more fun of me. I had to have, because my Facebook skills are so limited, I had to have Colin Buddy give me a tutorial on how to adjust things, okay? And he's incredibly good at it, by the way. He really is. Guy was all over it, so it's a huge upgrade, and we thank you for doing that, big time. Mine's pretty light tonight. But we've got a lot of, kind of similar to previous years, a lot of college faces in the building. So many that yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever Joe surprised us with that fire drill, that he always pulls people because he wants to, trick us. And so he pulled a couple people, and one of which was one of the UD kids that was in there. I didn't even know her name. So I don't know how she's missing, but I checked the building before and I saw her get yanked, so I had the advantage. But it's great because there's so many and they're all plugged in so well working with kids. It's been absolutely fantastic. Pam Oney, as an instruction coach, has done a terrific job just corresponding between Julie Schultz, obviously one of our junior high teachers here, is teaching the math course at UD. We've got, I think I mentioned that in there, 8 additional kids in there right now doing math practicum stuff and helping out with it. Kiara and 4 other high school kids are down there partway through the day. She's got a million other things she can do. You can go home an hour and a half early, but instead she comes down and works with our 3rd graders. And so yeah, it's great. It really is. It's awesome to see happening. So I just want to, sing their praises for just doing a great job of kind of continuing that partnership and going. I mentioned the fire prevention stuff, so huge thanks to the fire department for putting that on. Just the irony of it is today, old Boxlighter hunts me down because I'm walking in when he is, or I'm coming down when he's coming into school. And he's got to hunt me down to show me his, prize drawing that he did. It was really good. And to his credit, though, he's so incredibly proud of that piece of it. And so it's great to sing kids' praises in something other than what we normally do. And I appreciate, the fire department doing they really do a remarkable job of setting the structure up, coming in, giving them prizes, making a huge ordeal of it. It's fantastic. So those kiddos did a phenomenal job, and they run, obviously thank our fire department for consistently doing it every year. Honestly, I think they enjoy it too, but it's great. It makes for an awesome partnership. And then STEM night has kind of been our go-to recently, the last 2 years. We did that again with UD. Chad Biermeyer brings out, and I didn't realize this is the structure he uses. He comes out and he just says, hey, this is one of my classes. I got 20 kids in here. You figure it out. You pick whatever STEM activity you want. Okay, I don't care what it is. Make it good. All right, and then run it past me, and we're gonna practice them out one of our classes before, and then you're gonna come in and live it live, which is great for an educator. You got to do this in front, and they were spectacular. So I kind of thought he had the canned ones they use every year. It isn't the case. Like they're different every single year. And so this year it was awesome. Like they had some really good. A little too messy on a couple, but they were really, really good. You know, Glenn was there with his kids and lots of folks. It was awesome. Your boys were there, if I remember right. They don't
I
miss
was
it.
out of town.
They don't miss it. I didn't think I saw you, but I saw the kids.
I was sad I couldn't come.
It was awesome. Anyway, great, huge turnout. It was phenomenal. So we had a lot of fun.
Bad scheduling on the part of the elementary principal and the ADs in the high school because we had a junior high football game the same night as STEM night, and it was a seventh grade game followed by an eighth grade game, and there was
Boy Scouts.
a Boy Scout
And
game.
Boy Scouts in the Square Gym. It was grass lot parking only. We're just gonna put it that way. The timing was terrible, but it was, people coming in thought the STEM night was like mosh pit moving. Because, whoa, we didn't know it'd be this busy. It's not. There's a football game down there. So, anyway, it was phenomenal. Great time. So that's kind of it for me. But anyway, it was a fun month. So it's always on the know.
Yeah, no, I thank Chad and University of Butte students for their participation in that. It does. I mean, my kids were excited about going and doing it. You know, it's just a neat hands-on opportunity for them.
Yeah, it was.
Anything for Mr. Hart?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Mr. Sirianni.
So the first update I had is just on fall activities. So we are nearing completion of all of our fall activities. Just a quick recap. So the golf team did take 4th place in the conference. Jacob Lane, as an individual, took 2nd place at conference, also finished 2nd place at regionals, and just missed out on advancing to the state meet, but a very successful year. Football, we have scheduled the 10th game that we had talked about as the kind of the pot at the end of the rainbow, so to speak, with being playoff ineligible. And it just so happens that the team that we found is not far away, New Glarus Monticello, and they were more than happy to come and play on a turf field at Southwestern. So, you know, we had talked about looking for a college field, but I think the one that we found that was available was going to be $2,000 just to rent the field for the night, and that's not including hiring everybody that you needed to hire to run it. So, you know, it's actually going to save us in the long run, and it's going to be a good experience. So Friday night at 7 o'clock, they will wrap up with their playoff game against New Glarus Monticello. Volleyball, they will start regionals on Monday. You know, there's always some question marks that you have with some of the state organizations and how they plan things out. So, needless to say, we are sending our girls on the bus to Rockford Christian Life High School, which is just over 2 hours away. And at 6 o'clock on Monday night, we play Galena. So, you know, both schools travel 2 hours to play a volleyball match. Don't ask. That's just the way it is. So, but you know, hopefully, you know, they can pull a shocker, and maybe we'll get a chance then to make that 2 hour trip again. So that would be a good thing. We're sending the bus back down the road on Wednesday night. Both junior high football and volleyball seasons have wrapped up, and junior high boys basketball is actually getting ready for their first game, which is this coming Monday. So there's not a lot of downtime when you have the junior high seasons. They just kind of go back to back. So the high school basketball and archery then will begin within the first week or so of November. So they're not far away from the start of their seasons. You know, I had homecoming written down. Liam and Kiara kind of talked a lot about homecoming. So, you know, I guess there are certain parts that as a principal you have to be involved in for homecoming. You know, there's got to be certain things that get run up the totem pole, so to speak. Schedules that have to be created to make sure that we've got everything accounted for. And but really outside of the schedules and a couple of other little things, not a lot that came my way. So to me, that was a good sign. That means that the student council was running very effectively this year. So glad to see that. A week, 2 weeks. The high school drama department will be putting on the play this fall, so they're performing Elsewhere, and it will be on Saturday night at 7 and Sunday afternoon at 3 that they will do the 2 performances. So Anybody that wants to come and watch the play performance can kind of mark your calendars here. Veterans Day, we are, at this time, knock on wood, we are preparing for our district-wide Veterans Day Assembly to resume again this year. And because of the way the state worked out this year, they required the schools to take off Tuesday the 8th for Election Day. And so we will be in school on Friday the 11th. And so we will, that's going to be the first time since I've been here where we've actually had the Veterans Day Assembly on Veterans Day. So talking with Delbert Belkin and, you know, kind of getting the word through those guys, I think they are appreciative of that fact too, because you know, that's really the day that it should be celebrated. So 9 o'clock a.m. if you're interested, up in the gym, we'll have the presentation, and then the veterans that want to stay will enjoy a Thanksgiving dinner here at school for lunch as well. So one thing that I didn't have on there because it just came out on Monday, we did have 4 students that were chosen to be participants in ILMEA. So with Ms. Conzett and Ms. McNaught. One of them is actually sitting here behind the camera tonight. So Jeremiah Haven, Will Quinn, Kaylee Nelson, and Maddie Heitkamp are going to be going down to DeKalb later November, right? I didn't get the date on that, but I know it's usually.
I guess the week before Thanksgiving.
So middle part of November, they'll be going down there to perform. So congratulations to those 4 kids and to the you know, teachers of getting them prepared and getting them down there to audition. So October is wrapping up quickly, and once we get past Thanksgiving, then the winter seasons with high school basketball get busy. So we'll enjoy a little breather. Any questions?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to Mr. Potts.
All right. Mine was pretty light this month too. Wes says that every month, I think, but mine was actually pretty light this month. A couple things on the transportation side. Badger Road, I think, has been closed forever. I think someone said it's been 39 days or something like that. So we were notified that Friday will be the last day and we'll be able to resume normal routes on Monday. So I asked Jeff 3 times before I pushed send. Sent that to parents if I really should, so we have notified our families that in fact will be the case, or we hope that will be the case. A little unexpected surprise for us, Bus 25, which is our oldest bus in the fleet, had some trouble. We had to take it in, ended up having to do a rebuilt engine, so that was one of those expenses that you don't see coming. And one of the other things that I was going to talk about was the activity bus. So last year you approved the purchase of an activity bus. The one we were supposed to buy was in an accident. We weren't able to purchase it. So this rebuilt engine, actually, we had the money set aside for the activity bus that we're now not going to be able to get till next summer. So we'll put that on next year's budget. So we're actually to the good in the transportation department with the budget, but it's where we are in the world right now. Everything takes longer to get. You know, when we found out that our activity bus was in the accident, we asked about buying a new one. And I think the guy laughed at Jeff at first and then said, "Oh, you're serious?" Probably next summer. So there's one coming off a lease in another school district that we're going to look at first, and then if not, then we'll look at getting a new one. So. From the district office, we had our compliance visit from the ROE in the state last Friday. There was quite a bit of preparation work before they came. They're doing it differently now. Instead of doing everything on site, it's a lot of uploading files prior to them coming. So most of their list is checked off before they even get here. So, you know, secretaries and principals had a lot of work to do. Lisa, Angie, Jen, and the district office put a lot of things together. So there was a lot of upfront work. They were here for about 3 hours Friday. I know I was with them for a bit of that time. I think the principals had to be with them for a bit of that time, but it was not nearly as intense. I don't know from the state of Illinois, but I've been involved in the state of Iowa. It was a very intense process in the past. This was very much So I felt like it was a good process, it was good for us, you know, and we really had to dive into our policies again and look at some things. So that was good. The recommendations are the things that we didn't have in place that we needed to was there's a new law that every 5 years you have to do a background check on employees. It used to be once at the beginning of their employment was a background check. Now it's every 5 years. The good thing is our Raptor system can be used for that, so we have a process in place, we just have to do it. So that wasn't a big deal, and actually I think Angie has started doing that through the state websites that you can do background checks as well. So that was a pretty easy one for us. The other thing that I didn't have done was an updated certified staff because I didn't have a science teacher, so when we were in the flux of are we going to hire someone, are we going to sub it, are we going to go online, I just didn't fill in that box. So that's a pretty easy one as well. Other than that, pretty minor things. So like I said, it was a good visit and a good process to go through. And now all of that is uploaded, so really it's just updating that. So in the future, that will be that'll be a really easy process for us to go through. A couple weeks ago, Mr. Wilgenbush and Mr. Eisen and myself sat in a meeting with John Deere and the representative from John Deere Dubuque Works, from Moline, and then a representative from the apprenticeship, the National Registered Apprenticeship Program. So we have filed to become part of the National Registered Apprenticeship Program, mostly to get our kids in the welding program at John Deere, where they will, when they're seniors in high school, they'll come to school half a day, and then the second half of their day, they'll go to John Deere and actually be paid to work there and learn those skills and things. So obviously it's a tremendous opportunity for those kids, but what we found out is we can really get into this opportunity with any business that we would like to. So if there are opportunities with Fidelity Bank or A.Y. McDonald, who I had spoken to a few weeks prior to that, we can set up an apprentice program with any of those businesses. They have to fill out a little bit of paperwork and approve it on their end, and then we can get kids in this program and get them paid their senior year of high school for doing these jobs that hopefully will lead to something in the future. There's really nice partnerships with specifically with the welding program with NICC. So we have to go through Highland, get permission to go to NICC as opposed to Highland, which won't be a problem in this case because it doesn't make any sense for us to try and send it to Highland. NICC is right there. So that should be taken care of. But just it opened up, we've been trying to get some kids in internship opportunities. I think we have 6 kids this year that are doing different things. Some of them are going to work and doing internship opportunities. This really expands the scope of what we can do and allow kids to be able to do in the future.
Is that active now?
We have applied. We're waiting for our approval. So there are some things that have to be in place. We have to have certain classes in place. We may have to look at expanding the scope of our industrial tech classes, some of the things that we offer in the future. But those are things that we can look at. So as soon as they sign on the dotted line that we are a go. We have a senior right now that he is itching to get to John Deere, and so we're pushing as hard as we can. For him, a lot of kids in the future, they said, start slow. We're really talking about your sophomores and juniors, and he said, that's great. We love it for them. We got a kid that we need to get going right now. He's ready, so we'll keep pushing. That's really it from my side.
Anything from Mr. Fox? I appreciate you having those conversations because what a great benefit for students.
So we can say a lot, but if you go out back and take a look, you can see they have moved literally tons of earth. And what was a big gulch or valley or whatever you call it is now a flat pad ready for the gym to be built. And actually, not only did we get that flattened and leveled out, but we have leveled it all out all the way to the worm shed and beyond. So not only are we ready for the gym, but we're ready for any classroom addition. We won't have to do all of that earthwork in the future. So, and actually, the hayfield that we own adjacent to, or it's on our property, but adjacent to the school, is actually a nice flat pad that's ready for an elementary school. So, a lot of good things are happening. But if you get a chance to go out back, I know it's just dirt, but I think it's the most beautiful dirt I've seen in a long time.
It has been a challenge to keep kids along those two hallways
Yeah.
from staring out the window and watching what's going on. But, you know, they're seeing it happening, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. You always say, you know, little kids love watching big trucks. It's all kids. Because this 47-year-old kid has been staring out his back window, watching big trucks move dirt. So it's been fun.
Any questions?
It's fantastic.
I got a chance to go out and look today, you know, during the daylight, when I came up to do board, but you know, it's great. It's a lot different, you know, from the days of us running hills for.
I'm just glad it's
football
filled in
and-
because of that. I saw it, I was like, great, no more nightmares.
We created a new hill that people could run for football. I don't know what the old one was like, but we made a new one. So.
No nightmares from
No
that
more
old bill,
nightmares.
right, Patrick? Yeah.
So, moving on to new business. 6.1 is an action item to remove policy 7165, school uniform.
So that policy was in place for one small subsection that had to do with hairstyles, and that part of that policy is actually covered in a new policy. So because we don't have uniforms, this policy is irrelevant and somewhat obsolete for us. So because we're covered under another policy, we're
So do we need a
recommending
motion to remove it?
Yep, we're recommending that it be removed from.
I move that we remove policy 7.165, school uniforms from our policy manual.
Second.
It's been moved by Don, seconded by DJ to remove policy 7165, school uniforms from our policy list. So, roll call, please.
Kussmaul,
Yes.
Quinn,
Aye.
Foot,
Aye.
Dahlberg,
Aye.
Luffalholtz,
Aye.
Winders.
Aye.
All right, moving on to 6.2 is in regards to a boys basketball team overnight trip.
So this was the trip to Bloomington where the team was invited. So there's really the cost for the hotel stay and the cost for the fee for the tournament is paid for by
State
Farm.
Yep.
So really it's just a matter of us getting the kids there and allowing them to participate.
Second?
Been moved by DJ, seconded by Donna to approve the boys basketball overnight trip. Roll call, please.
Dahlberg,
Aye.
Kussmaul,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Luffalholtz,
Aye.
Winders,
Aye.
Foot.
Aye. Moving on to 6.3 is regarding the Family Ties lease agreement renewal.
So this is just a continuation of the agreement that we've had with Family Ties for years. I think every year Wes and I sit down and at some point say, what are we gonna use that room for? But this is a really nice agreement and they're a great resource for us to have, so we're just gonna continue that, just for your information.
Any questions on that? All right. Moving on to 6.4 is regards to a FOIA request regarding contact information. I think this is just a general one.
Yeah, the Smart Procure is
Is
one
that
of the
with-
entities that
Is
we
that with
developed.
addresses and
Yeah.
staff names, addresses, phone numbers?
We get that one a couple times a year.
Yeah,
6.5 is regarding the Illinois Principals Week, October 16th through the 22nd. Happy Principals.
Just wanted to say thank you to these gentlemen for what they do, and always having kids in their heart first, so we appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, man.
Any other new business?
No, sir.
Alright, so moving on to personnel.
I make a motion to accept the personnel as presented, 7.1, 7.2.
Second.
Been moved by Donna, seconded by Patrick to approve personnel as identified on the agenda. Roll call, please.
Foot,
Aye.
Winders,
Aye.
Christmas,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Dahlberg,
Aye.
Luckelholtz,
Aye.
And then, moving on to President's Private, just one thing that I guess I haven't really communicated it, but it was what was taught to me when I first came on board in regards to doing board bills. And two people are assigned each month to do those. What I was taught when I came on was that, you're responsible for them. If you aren't able to do them, try to find somebody to do that. You can switch, months to do it or whatever. So I just found out that people weren't under that same understanding, so I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Do you want us to send out that schedule again?
It might be beneficial just so that.
Angie usually puts it in.
Yeah, she puts it out when she sends the board packets, but just so that way if somebody's got something